Hello friends, if you have find this video and channel interesting which will add value to your knowledge and learning, then please like it, subscribe my channel and also click on the bell icon so as to get the automatic notification of latest uploaded videos. Thank you. Now let's see what this Microsoft Teams question is asking about. You work as a system administrator for your company. The company has departments named sales, accounts, research, and production. The company has a subscription of Microsoft 365. All users in your company have a Microsoft 365 E5 license. You have configured a team for each of the department. Currently, users in any department can use Microsoft Teams to communicate with users for any other department. You need to configure the environment to ensure that users in the research team can only communicate with other users in the research team by using Microsoft Teams. What should you do? So we have four options for this. Option A is configure a Microsoft Teams meeting policy. Option B, configure information barrier policies. Option C, configure an app protection policy. And last option, option D, configure conference bridges. So if you see in this question, we have different teams, okay, and different departments like sales, account, research, and production. So it is asking in this question that research team can only communicate with the research team members or other users in the research team, but not with the other users or members in the account team or sales team or production team. So option A, which is asking to configure a team's meeting policy, is not very much relevant to our question. Okay. Option B is asking to configure information barrier policies. So it is somewhat relevant or very much relevant because if you want to put some restriction in your communication, means you need to configure some information barrier policies. Okay, because you don't want a research team to communicate with other. You don't want to share the information, okay, between the research teams and other teams, but you want to share the information within the research team. Okay, so option B looks relevant. Option C is asking to configure an app protection policies. So this is also not relevant because we are not talking about any app here. Okay, and option D, which is the last option, configure conference bridges. So this is also not relevant because we are not talking about any conference bridge in this question. Okay, so let's explore a bit more the Microsoft document, what it says if you want to restrict some communication between and other teams, what you have to do. So if you see in this explanation, I have explained somewhat about this, and the Microsoft 365 compliance portal, which is the compliance or security and compliance portal, now it is renamed and it is known as Microsoft Purview. Okay, we will see how it looks like, how the admin center of Microsoft Purview looks like. We will see. So Microsoft Purview Information Barrier is a compliance solution that allows you to restrict two-way communication and collaboration between groups and users in Microsoft Teams or SharePoint Online or OneDrive, for business. Okay, and often used in highly regulated industries, IB, which is the information barrier, can help to avoid conflicts of interest and safeguard internal information between users and organizational areas. So option B, which is related to the information barrier policies, it looks like the correct answer. So let's explore a bit more what are the examples of it. So if you see here, IB policies can allow or prevent communication between groups and users for the following example scenarios. There are some scenarios it is given. So if you see in scenario 1, users in the day trader group should not communicate or share files with the marketing team. Okay, so this is one example. The second example is finance personnel working on confidential company information should not communicate or share files with certain groups within their organization. And third example is an internal team with trade secret material should not call or chat online with people in certain groups within their organization. And fourth example, it is a research team should only call or chat online with the production development team. And the last example which has given a SharePoint site for day trader group should not be shared or accessed by anyone outside of the day trader group. So there are a few examples given where we can implement the information barrier policies with Microsoft Teams so that they are not able to chat or they are able to chat. They are not able to chat with other teams, but they are able to chat within teams, something like that. Okay, and it is also information barrier policies can also be applied to SharePoint Online or OneDrive where we put the important document. Okay, so one important point here it is mentioned that information barrier policies only supports two-way communication. It does not support one-way communication. Okay, it only supports two-way communication and collaboration restriction. For example, a scenario where marketing can communicate and collaborate with day trader users, but day trader cannot communicate and collaborate with marketing. So this is not supported. Okay, so one-way communication is not supported. Only it is two-way communication. If you want to restrict, then it will restrict two-way communication, and if you want to allow, then it will allow two-way communication. So let's see some Microsoft document URL. You will find some more explanation and you can explore it. So this is one URL of Microsoft documentation where you can learn more about information barrier and its policies. So I've already shared the link of this URL in my channel, and I already explained about this in my explanation also, like the examples of it, and it will not support two-way communication. Okay, it will not support two-way communication, and you can explore a bit more what are the important points of it. Okay, and I will share one more URL. Let's see that. So this is another URL of Microsoft documentation where you can get more information about information barrier and its policies, how to configure information barrier policies in your information, what are the steps, what are the restrictions, what are the requirements. So everything is given here, right? Like what are the required subscriptions and permissions. Okay, so it is given like to access and use information barrier, your organization must have one of the following subscription or add-ons. So what are the different types of subscription or licenses required? You can explore it. If it is not there, then you cannot restrict using information barrier policies. Okay, and what are the configuration steps? You can explore that. So a lot of information is there. What are the configuration overview, how you will configure that. You need to make sure the prerequisite are met and everything. So a lot of information are here. You can use to configure the information barrier policies, and also you can use the PowerShell to configure the information barrier policies in your organization if you want. So you can explore a lot in this URL which I have already shared in my channel. Now let's see how the Microsoft Purview looks like, the admin center, how it looks like. So this is how the Microsoft Purview admin center looks like. Earlier it was compliance and security center, but it has renamed or rebranded as Microsoft Purview. So there are lots of option here where you can go and explore it if you want. Okay, so this is how Microsoft Purview looks like. So the correct answer for this question is option B, configure information barrier policies. By implementing information or configuring information barrier policies, you can restrict that the researcher team can communicate only with the users in the researchers team using Microsoft Teams and not with the other team like account team or sales team or production team. Okay, so configure information barrier policies to achieve this task. So a lot of references here which I've already shared on my channel. If you want, go and explore it. Thank you.